Hello, friends. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Well, I got a little project this week. One of my client gave me some scrap gold, and he wanted to melt it down and make a very plain, simple a band. Maybe like a very simple band like this, and but kind of like a hammer texture. So it's a really plain and simple band, nothing big, nothing difficult, so they're not gonna take that long. But the problem is this rings got a lot of stones in it, like as you can see in the camera. I'll try to show you, like a lot of little tiny stones. And what I have to do, I have to take these stones out. I think that's gonna take more time than making a band, so I will try to save as many stones so I can return it back to the customers. This one have more stones in it. So what we're gonna do, take the stones out and melt it down. So the weight on that one is 9.6 gram, and it's 18 karat. It's really nice. Let me find a tray. Do I have a tray somewhere? It's hard to find stuff when you need it. That is the only problem with the bench. All right, I have to pause it to look for this tray. Let's try see what the weight is right now. It's a 00. Maybe I can find a smaller box. Yep. Put the box. Do it kind of zero. Now it's a zero. Right. Drop scrap gold. Yeah, 9 point. Yeah, almost 9.61. So what I'm gonna do next is take the stones out and reweight it. I don't think so it's gonna make a big difference because the stones are so small, but just in case, I'm gonna wait one more time without the stones, and we're gonna melt and make a band. I guess now you guys can see the tiny stones. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push the prongs outward um, with the, I will probably use this engraver and push the stones out, I mean the prongs out, and save as many stones I can so I can give it back to him. So that's like kind of work. There is other option, like you just try to burn the metal and all the stones start popping out. But sometimes I don't like to do that because sometimes it's like overheat, stone can burn, or it can get stuck in a melted gold. Let's see what we can do, which one is gonna be easier. Or I can cut in a half and bend the ring like this and stones start popping out. There are so many different ways. So I'm gonna try everything as quick as possible. So once the stones are out, and I will see you guys again. All right, it's almost 30 minutes and I was able to take all the stones out. What I have to do is like what I found an easy way to take the stone is I was like cutting like between two diamonds. I was just trying to cut it, so it created like a little bit of gap in the prongs, and it was much easier to pull the diamonds out like that. So I was just trying to cut it between two diamonds, real careful not to crush the stones, and that's what I did on this side. So these are all out, and I try to burn to take the stone out, but it was like kind of hard. It was not that easy. Sometimes the stone gets stuck in the metal and sometimes don't like get like kind of foggy and discolor, so I don't like that. So yeah, the easiest way is be patient, one at a time. Just bend the ring or cut it right here in the between two stones, and it's easy to take it out. Now it's time to weight all that metal we collected and try to melt it. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys all the stones I took it out. So these are the stones, kind of hard to see right here in the pan. Put in the bag and give it to my client. So now, yes, we have to weight the metal. See what weight we got. Almost like 9.49, and it's like a 9.6. Like, see, can you see the weight? Yeah, 9.49 right here. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit weight of the stones came out. That was expected, of course. So what we do? All right, so far I did add a little bit of borax, and this one I just add a little bit borax on that. Yeah, I got this boric acid powder for a long time ago. I don't know, I got this from Stellar or Rio Grande. These are the two places I usually order my stuff. And yeah, it lasts really long. I have this for a while. You don't have to use a lot. So I got a little bit longer torch head right here. Always it's good to heat your ingot. If not, when you pour a gold in it and it create a bubble, space, air, and sometimes the molten gold can shoot up in the air, which is really dangerous, especially you're working close to, this kind of metal. It can shoot your face. So you have to be careful. You just heat up this one, not a whole lot, just above a room temperature. Sometimes I don't like to fast forward my videos, so at least like you're watching, you know how long it's gonna take for a process. In actual time, I have seen a lot of times people like to fast forward a process, but you lose a time. You don't know how long it's gonna take to do something in actual life. So I try not to fast forward. Just show you, hey, it take like a couple of minutes, 1 minute to melt it down or whatever. If you like, you can fast forward. Also, let me know in a comment that if you have any better idea how to take the stones out, any other way you take the stones out of the ring, and or this the best way what I did, or what is the right way to melt the gold, anything really, helpful. I usually do this on the back side so all that, like unwanted stuff stay on the back and you have a pretty nice melted gold right here. Okay, I was hoping to this spread out a little bit, but it did not. So it means that I have to roll it a little bit more. It's more work. I wish it just roll a little bit to the long way. But it's a pretty nice. I love working with 18 karat or 22 karat gold. How clean and shiny it is. Really nice color of gold. Nice dark color. Yeah, when I'm working with somebody else gold, always very careful with the weight so my client get back what they paid for or what they gave me. So 9.48, yeah, like now it was like 9.6. Got a little bit of because of the stones and all the porosity, all that bad stuff came out of the gold. So this one is 9.48. I think this should be a really good weight and the size of the gold to make a band. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that I have to make a size 15. The band size is 15. Yep, it's a pretty nice big size. I have no idea how long it gonna be and how wide it gonna be. We're just gonna roll and see what comes out. All right, guys. I will see you at the rolling mill. All right, it's time to anneal a little bit, make it a little softer. So we're gonna do that till it become like kind of a long wire for a band. I'm just rotating this a little bit to bring this gap down so our wire, like this piece, get thinner and thinner. So let's do it again. Yeah, it take about, I will say, 30-40 minutes, an hour, because I do really small increments, not push too hard, and anneal like 4 or 5 times. If you don't anneal your gold and you keep rolling, what happened? It start cracking, it start breaking, and it get harder and harder. Yeah, about like 10 turns maybe. You have to reheat it. And good thing it is 18 karat, so it's much softer than 14 and way much softer than 10 karat gold. All right, it's time to heat it. All right, let it sit for a few minutes till it get cold. All right, I am done with the ring shank. So this is what it came out. So now what I'm gonna do is kind of stiff to bend. So what I'm gonna do is like heat it up so we can roll it and then create like a shape of a band. I turn the light off. At this time, you have to be really careful because now it's kind of thin, so you don't wanna overheat and melt the shank. So you go very easy and very careful. All right, that's it, and let it sit for a few minutes. When it cool down, then we're gonna make a band. All right, it's been like few minutes, like maybe like 20-30 minutes. So now it's kind of soft, very easy to bend, which is good. That's I want it. Um, I cut this piece of small paper so I can figure out the size of the band, the size of the length. So this is like very easy and cheap way to do it. How much metal we have to cut to make a band. But there is a other way which I have seen on YouTube that you use some kind of calculation, the thickness of the metal and the size of the band. So you do some calculation and you get the length of the metal in millimeters, which is really cool, but I don't remember that calculation. So I'm gonna do this way. So look like I have to cut this much right here. It's good to have like a little smaller uh, because when I'm gonna hammer, the size is going to change a little bit because of the hammering. Hammering gonna expand your metal, and if you have exact 15, after hammering it might get like 15 point, like 15 and quarter or 15 and half. All right, let me find my glasses right here. So I have to cut these edges, these round edges. We don't need that. Oops, where did I drop it? Oh yeah, found it somewhere in my desk. I will look for it. All right, we cut it the desired length of it, and now I'm gonna roll it and shape it. Yeah, I found it right here. So these are like a little bit of gold, which is obviously part of the losing when you losing a metal when you are making something like a band or ring. You always have that kind of. Oh yeah, I have this plier. So let's try. Yeah, it's a little bit over 15, which is good. I like it. It's kind of thick band. I was not expecting like kind of this thick, but which is good. So what I'm gonna do is like have a clean cut. After that, I am going to solder this with 18 karat gold solder and then start hammering it. The next step is make sure there is a no gap when you're soldering it. For that reason, what I have to do is like sanding this. I go like this way to try to make like a flusher metal. That way, when I'm going to solder, it will be no problem. Also, right here on the edge, kind of lift it up, and this is lifted down. That is the perfect aligned. Just a little bit this way. Good. All right, this is extra gold. Let me find. That's how I usually keep my solder in this box. Where's my tweezer? Yeah, I got a yellow gold, white gold, platinum, rose gold, and some sterling silver right here. So I got this one is 18 karat yellow easy. That will work pretty good. Yeah, the solder pricing are so expensive right now. Is unbelievable. What I used to get, the solder used to cost, I think it's like 50, $60. Now it's like 120 for 10 karat, and 18 karat gold is like beyond imagination how expensive 18 karat gold solder is. While I'm doing this, what I'm going to do, turn the light off. So while I'm here, I'm gonna heat it up. So it will be very helpful when you going to hammer it. So it's a soft metal, it's gonna be very easy to hammer. You got a nice flush on the back. All right, let it sit for a few minutes and we're gonna straight it up and start hammering it. All right, now it's kind of nice looking band. What I am going to do, just straight up a little bit. Important thing, I'm gonna wait what we get now. The band is 7.12 and the scrap is like 9.44. What? 9.44? Okay, exact 9.6. We haven't lost a whole lot. Can you see in the camera? Yeah, it's a 9.44, 9.6. So we did not lost a lot of metal, which is really good. If you lose like 2 gram, that's a big deal, or maybe 1 gram is a big deal. So I really got like a little bit of powder to return to my client. Hey, that belongs to him. So I try to collect as much as we can. That's good. Now it's time to do a texture. Yeah, this is a nice mandrel. Make sure that you have round mandrel all the way, not the other kind. Some there is another mandrel which do have a groove like this. Don't use that one. This is for stone setting when you have a stone in the ring, but I use this one. So this is a fun part. This is a nice hammer I ordered a long time ago. I think I ordered this one Rio. I don't remember. Yeah, I got it from them. There is a one smaller tip and a larger tip. I might go with the smaller tip right here. So just a warning, if you guys are wearing headphones, it's time to take the headphone off because it's gonna be loud. It is so much easier and fun to hammer on 22, 24 karat gold compared to 10 karat gold. Yeah, this is the only one hammer I got. I need to buy different textures of hammer. That'd be fun. But believe me, these hammers are so expensive, like 40, 50 bucks. But one thing I know, when you have a good tool, last forever. And also if you take care of your tools, they last forever. It's a little bit over 15. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna recut and resolder. Yeah, because it got a little bit of a crack right here where I solder it because I was hammering there. I need to get a new saw blade, a little bit thicker saw blade. That's a 4.0. Where do I have 3.0? Yeah, this one is 3.0. Yeah, when you're installing the blade, make sure the teeth are facing you. So that's how you do it. Maybe I cut a little bit. I am not going to cut it too much because if it's too tight on his finger, I can cut it down. But if it's too small, then it's gonna be a little bit harder to, make it bigger. Got a little stiff too. No problem. I can reheat it and make it like comfortable to bend. Yeah, because of the hammering, it got so stiff. All right, perfect aligned. Okay, it's too dark. I can't see. You're gonna do solder on the back of the ring. Sometimes it don't flow the way I want it. Great. 18 karat gold back. The wrong side. Yeah. I dropped the water in this time. Yeah, so right on the spot. 15. I'm gonna hammer where I solder it. Huh. On the back side, it printed 15 on the mandrel because of the mandrel right there. It's like a kind of reverse, but it printed 15 on the back of the shank. That's cool. This is a hammer design. I am not going to buff this way or this way. You lose a gold for no reason. Keep it as original, like original shape. So I will drop in a pickling and let it sit in a pickling for like, I would say like 30-40 minutes. And once it's done, I drop in a tumbler. Once in the tumbler and the band is done. First, I have to change the water and the soap in the tumbler. So I'm gonna do that while it's sitting in the pickling. It should be clean now. In the pickling, look pretty nice and yellow as it is right now. So what I'm gonna do, just drop in a tumbler. It's very clean. I just changed the water and the soap. Maybe about like 10-15 minutes. It's gonna shine up pretty good. Yeah, I need to clean my table, all that junk. Hopefully this week I'm gonna clean this motor too. My tumbler is really dirty because I was working on my laser work. So a lot is going on right now. So hopefully I have an extra time to clean my bench and extra stuff. Alright guys, I see you in 15-20 minutes. Let's see if the ring is already clean. I have to find it where it is. Come on, ring. Uh-huh. Yes, very nice and clean, very rich yellow gold color, and unexpectedly it marked size 15 on the because of the mandrel I was hammering it. That's cool. All right, that's almost ready. I don't need to polish on the buffer because when you polish on a buffer, usually it give you too much shine, not like 18 karat gold. So that's done. Cool. We're gonna put in the box and it's ready to go. I hope you like it, guys, and we make another video someday. Bye.